Hellos, welcomes back everyone, and Wolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, with my bounty hunter, Theia Jendri here. I thought with part 2 of this new series, we may as well start on the character select screen, so that we can see the prologue text that we see. Feel free to pause as it does scroll by relatively quickly, and then we'll find ourselves once again here inside the Poison Pit Cantina. Before we head out and explore Hutta, before we explore the town of Jigunna, let's talk about some of the in-game elements, the UI, some of the various windows we will be opening. We'll go through this very quickly, very briefly, to try and, well, save you some time for those of you who have played this game before and have seen another series from myself or another gaming YouTube channel. So, this is the normal preferred layout I like to use here in Star Wars The Old Republic. And we have a lot of quick bars open. A lot of them are currently empty. As we progress, as we gain more levels, we will unlock new skills, new abilities. Most of them allowing us to deal harm to our enemies. The primary things that we have to keep an eye on as a bounty hunter is our health bar here. Once this health bar goes down, we're dead, basically. And we're going to have to get ourselves over to a med center to recover. As a bounty hunter, as a power tech more specifically, we have a unique resource known as heat. Heat will start building up the more abilities we use, and at the moment it is dissipating relatively quickly, but the more this bar fills, the slower the heat dissipation will actually take place, so we do have to micromanage our heat level quite a bit. Of course, we are currently level 2. This is due to the fact that we have... how to put this? When you start a new game, because I've been playing this game for so long, EA, BioWare, send me a lot of gifts, a lot of thank you messages. Among those messages, if we pull up the character sheet here, contains various titles for our character, such as the Founder's title, Scourge of the Hutts, from the Rise of the Hutt Cartel expansion, The Risen from the Shadow of Revan expansion. As you unlock these titles, you actually gain a very small amount of experience, and therefore we've already gained a level. We do have an experience bar here at the bottom. We actually have a small amount of rested experience that you gain when you're sitting around or logged out inside a cantina, like we are right now. This is the main window you're going to see open quite often. This is the character window, which also now acts as an inventory. There is a separate inventory window, but we'll probably make use of this one. As you can see, there's various item or inventory slots. Thankfully, there isn't a maximum item weight, though there are obviously a maximum of 80 slots for items that we can carry. We have our various equipped weapons and armor. The weapons and armor you have equipped will determine how your character looks. And in addition, you have 1 ear accessory, 2 implant accessories, a tactical slot for when we're level 75 and beyond, and 2 relics. The weapons, armor, and accessories you have equipped will help determine, well, your basic damage, your survivability, and your support. These are generalized stats, but the more detailed attributes are located here. As a power tech, as a DPS power tech, we are going to be focusing on mastery to determine the amount of damage we deal, our endurance, which is our maximum health. Presence is somewhat important because it increases the effectiveness of companions when we finally gain companions. And then we can actually see our various basic damage outputs and our basic accuracy. We can choose to equip various armor sets that don't affect our attributes, our stats in any way. This is like more glamour armor, and actually have a set known as the Heartless Pursuer equipped, which is what you can see me wearing right here and right now. We can change up our combat styles. We only have one right now in the form of the Power Tech. The Power Tech does actually have 2 skill trees, known as Shield Tech, which is more focused on defense and mitigating damage, Pyrotech, which is more focused on dealing damage over time, or Advanced Prototype, which is more for direct damage, dealing a burst of damage in a few seconds. Each of them have their own ability or skill trees, and as we reach these thresholds of level, we will unlock new skills and new passives to augment our character to make them more effective. We'll talk about loadouts in the future, and we don't currently have a companion. Is there anything else worth mentioning right now? The mission log is probably a bit important. We'll have a look at the mission log. At level 10, we will unlock the Conquest tab. We also have the Codex here, which is kind of like a a generalization, a little bit of an index, so that you can learn more about the people, the places that you're encountering, and it gives you a bit of lore as well. For example, we are on the world of Hutta here. The adopted homeworld of the notorious Hutt cartel. Hutta is a planet of semi-toxic swampland broken up by industrial facilities and urban centers. Hutt-aligned gangs control the civilized regions, forever warring over territory and resources. In the swamps, the native Evokai population struggle against their Hutt rulers with limited success. The Hutts are officially neutral in the conflict between the Sith Empire and the Galactic Republic, and welcome visitors. Pirates, slavers, and spice dealers are all common sights in Hutt palaces, while corporations often establish themselves on Hutta's moon of Nar Shaddaa. Newly arriving shuttles on Hutta are directed to the town of Jigunna, which is where we're located here. Indeed, Jigunna is one of the few towns with a local spaceport. And I did briefly step out of the cantina to make use of the mailbox, and I picked up this lore, this codex entry on the town of Jigunna itself. Huts are notoriously territorial creatures, and their settlements reflect this. Enormous urban centers inhabited by thousands of huts are few on Hutta. Instead, the planet's industrial towns are scattered across the globe, ruled like city-states by whichever hut rises to the top. Jigunna is one such industrial town, serving as an operational hub for nearby factories, mines, and processing centers. Booming and influential 2 centuries ago, Jigunna fell into anarchy when its founder Bakush the Hutt died in a mechanical accident. Afterward, Jigunna's population of humanoid enforcers, workers, and slaves fought for scraps under a succession of would-be gang lords. Eventually, a Hutt named Nemro eliminated his competitors and declared himself Jigunna's new ruler. Since then, Jigunna has been on an upswing, facilitating the distribution of SWTOR gas, spice, and weapons. Competition with neighboring huts has brought gang warfare back to the town, but business goes on, and Nemro controls the locals with bribes and brute force. And we find ourselves within one of the local cantinas here. Before we look at the mission log, let's pull out our map. We have a smaller map here within the Poison Pit Cantina. And we can actually see that we have a couple of places, people of interest, as we can see from the tooltip, the key here. There are a couple of standard mission and exploration mission offers from a Jigunna, a Lubrel, and a bounty droid. Excuse me. If we look out of the cantina itself, this is the entirety of Hutta that we are going to be able to explore. We have the region of Jigunna already open to us, explored. But we are going to be traveling east, and even though we know of Nemro the Hutt who we hope to claim support or sponsorship into the Great Hutt, there is another palace nearby, belonging to a Hutt known as favour. So, before we get out of the cantina, let us look at our current quest. Braden, a famed but now retired bounty hunter, has recruited you for his team for the Great Hunt. You'll need sponsorship to get in, though. The local crime lord Nemro the Hutt has yet to offer his sponsorship to anyone. And Braden thinks if you can make your name for yourself, you can win that prize. Your first task is to hunt down a high-profile target named Vex. We must go to Vex's safe house and search for any clues as to where he is currently hiding. And we can earn a small amount of credits. We will earn a fair bit of experience, and will actually gain a more powerful blaster pistol. As you can see from when we mouse over it, it compares it to our currently equipped weapon, and the green highlighted text indicates that it's going to be an improvement all across the attribute increase. There are, of course, red highlights, which would indicate a decrease in quality. But let us explore the Poison Pit Cantina here. and see what and who we can find. Gianna and the bounty droid certainly would like our attention. Before we speak to either of those, we're gonna continue with the main storyline ever so slightly, but we will speak to Lou Brell here.
Welcome to Hutta, kid. You're new here. You look pretty tough, but let me give you a word of advice. Watch your back out there. Learn how to please the people in charge, and as soon as you can, get out.
I don't plan to stay any longer than I have to.
You got a good head on you then. Just hope that when you're ready to leave, you still can. There's a gang war raging out there right now. If you want to survive on Hutta, you're gonna have to learn the ropes. I can get you experience navigating Hutta's gangs, help you build your reputation, if you help me out.
Now you're finally saying something interesting.
This is a gangster town, controlled by a greedy and cruel Hutt named Nemro, as if there was any other kind. Used to be I worked for Nemro's gang. Violent, bloody life. That's why I left. But now, my little brother's following my footsteps. Nemro's street gang leader, Rex Gear, is my old buddy. I thought he might help get my brother out, but I can't get to Rex for all the fighting.
Where do I come in?
If you could blast your way through them and talk to Rex, convince him to let my brother go, I'd be grateful.
And what exactly do I get out of it? I mean, besides a reputation.
I told you what you stand to gain in terms of reputation, but if that's not enough, I think I can swing some credits.
In that case, I'm in.
Glad to hear it. You'll find Nemro's boys holed up in Jigunna, but you're gonna need to fight through Fathra's thugs, so be careful.
Excellent. In fact, since he's mentioned Fathra, why don't we speak to this bounty droid as well?
I'll listen, for now. I suppose I can do that.
So, this astromech droid carried a message from the mighty Nemro the Hutt himself. We'll get ourselves out of the cantina, and then we'll look at our mission log once again. In fact, before we do that, they say this quick travel is currently not allowed. Why is that? Maybe you can't use quick travel in certain areas? It's been a while, forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty. Oh, level 80 sniper. Huh. Ah, yes, now quick travel is available. And because we've explored Jigunna, we could quick travel back to the Poison Pit Cantina or Nemro's Palace. There are a couple of other quick travel nodes, but because we haven't discovered the area that they're located in, we wouldn't be able to jump over to them. At the moment, at least. So, a bounty has been put out on Fathra's gang members by Nemro the Hutt. Defeat the Fathra gangsters in Jigunna to claim the reward. And we'll gain a small amount of experience and a set of armor. A set of gloves, I should say. On each world we visit, there are different armor sets, normally unique to your class and unique to the world you visit in style and appearance. Some of them can look very close to one another with minute differences. And of course, an ex-gangster named Lou Brell needs your help preventing his brother Cam from following in his footsteps. Lou has asked you to convince his old friend Rex Gear, the leader of Nemro's street gang, to let Cam leave the gang. Locate this Rex within the gang's hideout within Jigunna. Okay. We have a few basic combat abilities at level 1 and at level 2. We didn't unlock anything new at level 2, I should mention. We have a basic rapid shot ability that generates 0 heat, making use of our blaster pistol to fire a quick stream of bolts and causing a small amount of weapon damage. We do have this flame burst ability, firing a burst of flame at a target, dealing a moderate amount of elemental damage. And then finally we also have Rocket Punch. Engages our jetpack, allowing us to strike a target with a heavy punch that deals a considerable amount of kinetic damage. Of course, to make use of Rocket Punch, we have to be within 4 meters. Whereas our basic shot has a 30-meter range, and Flame Burst has a range of 10 meters. You tend to find that your skills, your abilities, have a melee range of 10 meters, 10-meter range, or 30 meters. Of course, if you're playing, say, as a sniper like the Trauma Medic here, you may be able to extend your range to 35 meters with a few of your abilities. So, I don't think there's anything else we need right now. Oh, we can activate this experience booster, which we got from the mailbox. Increases all experience gained by 25% for 3 hours. Yunk. So, a brief talk about identifying friends and enemies. You see other players and their names are highlighted in blue. We have friendly targets like the gangsters belonging to Nemro the Hutt, highlighted in green. And then of course we have members of favour the Hutt's gang, highlighted in red, indicating if we approach them, they will be hostile. We can also encounter creatures and enemies highlighted in yellow, meaning they are neutral. We can engage them in combat, but they are non-aggressive if we approach them. As you can see, this gangster actually dropped an item for us. Depending on the color of the glow here, may determine or identify the quality of the gear that they're actually going to drop. Light blue tends to mean common items, trash. But we have dark blue, purple, I believe we have orange, and then finally we have gold. Gold tends to indicate endgame resources or mission or quest related items. And we can actually see we actually gained a small amount of credits and some plasteel restraints. But we can set some of these gangsters on fire to ingratiate ourselves with Nemro the Hutt. Some of these opponents are actually, they are part of Fafra's gang, but they are not part of the side quest. most of the time you will have to go to the quest giver to gain a reward. But certain quests will auto-complete, and if you're not in combat, a window will open. If you're in combat, there will be a mission pending kind of tab here. And we did complete the Deathmark quest. And we'll take these gloves. We're not actually wearing a set of gloves at the moment. And we gained our next level. Nope. Yeah, we're wearing a very basic jumpsuit. But we'll take these gloves. We can have a look at our default gear. How do we do that again? How do we set our default outfit? You know what? I've forgotten. It's been a while. Oh, hi. Yeah. Enemies can and will respawn. How do I show this armor off? That's our loadout. Ah, there you go. Show gear as outfit. Okay, that, yeah. So we weren't wearing gloves earlier, but we are now. Perfect. And here is Lou's old friend.
You got some skill breaking through Fathra's line, and some nerve coming in here. Do I know you?
This old gangster Brel said you were a friend of his.
Yeah, I remember Brel. He wants his brother back, don't he? Well, I can't help. The Brel kid's a traitor. First time Fathra's thugs start shooting at us, he turns coward and tries to join their side. Nemro's gonna have a lot of questions for him, and I can't let him go.
Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Look, I don't want to make trouble. So how about I pay you some credits and you go on your way? Tell Brel's big brother you got here too late or something. You'll be richer, and this weasel will get what he has coming.
I have a better idea. You let Brel go, he and his brother leave Hutta for good, and nobody knows any different.
What am I supposed to tell the boys? Turn coward and get a free pass off Hutta? That kind of deal's no good for morale.
Tell them you shot him, or he escaped.
They'll never go for it, but it looks like you're not leaving me with much choice. Looks like you got lucky, Brel. Your big brother's hired muscle just saved your skin.
Thank you.
You better get out of here, too. The boys won't be happy when they find out what you did.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
Better get out of here in a hurry, before the boys find out what you did.
I keep forgetting that you can actually interact with the NPCs like after completing a quest, and they may have unique dialogue. So we had a chance to negate, or I suppose renege on our contract with Lou and earn a few extra credits. There will be choices that we'll have to make as a character. They won't really, in the vast scheme of things, they won't make a great deal of difference, or they won't change a great deal. But it's a bit of flavor depending on how you wish to play your character. Are you willing just to be there simply for the credits? Or are you willing to stick to your guns, stick to the contract?
I just heard from my little brother, and it's a good thing, too. Fafra doesn't look like he's about to let up. And if it gets much worse, Nemro might start being more picky about who he lets on board the shuttles.
We better settle up.
I can't thank you enough, kid. Here's the credits I promised. Be careful on Hutta, though. Hutta'll eat you alive if you let him.
And that is not just a figure of speech.
Thanks for your help, kid. You done good by me.
Yeah, well... we weren't just doing it for the praise, we were doing it for the reputation. So, we should hit Vex's safe house. Before we do that, let me just quickly look at my graphical settings. I heard they have changed some of the settings. Not only do we have the new cinematic lighting, but apparently... I'm just gonna quickly see if I have if I don't have everything maxed out. I mean, Oh. I didn't have everything maxed out. Oh, that looks fine. Okay, so be it. Right, let's go find this safe house. It's located right here. So we're looking for Vex or any information on where he's gone. You're not gonna let me find that out, are you? And we have our first bonus mission. Some quests will have bonus missions. Some quests will even have bonus mission chains, where you'll complete the first stage of a bonus mission, and it'll direct you into a second stage, and a third stage. Vex has quite the posse. If they're allowed to escape, they'll warn Vex that you're after him. Make sure none of the hired outlaws in Vex's safe house survive your visit. Yeah, we can't be having that, can we? Thankfully, they're very, very flammable. Hey, level 4. We actually gained a new ability. Rail Shot. This fires a very powerful shot at a target that deals a decent amount of weapon damage. It is only usable against incapacitated targets or targets suffering from periodic damage. Very well. And no sign of Vex, but we do find a data pad. We go to our inventory here. We did actually loot a Bantha hide vest, which is better than what we currently have equipped. But we do have this mission item. An encrypted datapad Vex left behind that could give a clue to his next stop.
I'm just saying I want to go on some missions. My blaster aim is pretty good. Anything's better than sitting around with you and our gear. No offense, big guy.
Wana wada blota wijawa. O wamawanka matuske.
Hey, look who's back. How'd it go out there, girl? Find anything?
Vex left a data pad at his safe house.
Great, give it over and I'll see what I can make of it.
Uchusa yomata chitoya. Nam kanoya choski nawi.
The pleasure's all mine, big guy.
Well, look who's in a generous mood today.
Hey, Brayden. How was Nemro's palace? We getting our hunter in to see this hut?
I've laid the groundwork, but we're not there yet. What have you got?
A data pad from Vex's safe house. Cracked the encryption in record time. Check out that last entry.
Our boy Vex keeps detailed records. There's a receipt here for a shuttle ticket he bought today. We'll have to move fast. Only the boldest make it into the Great Hunt. And Vex is a bold target. He's a champion gunslinger, completely ruthless. What do you say, Hunter? You ready to take down Vex all by yourself?
Sure that's a good idea?
Of course I'm sure. You're the best shot I've ever seen. You just lack experience. If you head out now, you'll catch Vex at the shuttle port before he escapes. Bring back Vex's ID tags as proof that you're the one who got him. Anything else he carries is yours to keep.
O kakiza spida perupa. Gadwa shiniko higa danulia.
Okay. And gain a fair amount of experience and a new blaster pistol.
Hurry, Hunter. Vex could be on that shuttle already.
Tamka chirulia kimada.
Jory is hoping that Vex is transporting a great deal of credits.
Watch yourself. That Vex sounds nasty.
Champion gunslinger. Somewhat concerning, but if we take him down, the prestige will be ours. Oh, well, since we're heading to the spaceport, why don't we speak to Gianna?
Excuse me, stranger. I don't mean to be overly familiar, but I think you're just the kind of person who can help me. My coward of a husband has taken my son, and I need someone with the wit and muscle to bring him back.
Why would your husband take your son?
Because he's both a coward and a fool. My son is gifted. Do you understand me? Gifted in the Force. He has the ability to train on Korriban and become Sith. My husband trained on Korriban. He had his chance at glory, but failed. And now he runs errands for a slimy Hutt. I will not have my son do the same. Please, you must help me.
What's in it for me?
I'm not wealthy, but I'd give everything I have for my son.
Just point me in the direction of the action.
Good. I knew I'd find somebody sensible eventually. He took my son to the shuttle port. A comm officer there who owed me a favor contacted me when they showed up. Be careful. My husband may not be willing to walk away peacefully.
Okay. Oh. We have the daily reset. Very well. There is a bug fix patch coming up very shortly, so I have to keep an eye on that. And the game is going to be down, the servers are going to be down for a couple of hours, as I believe there is a current memory leak occurring with patch or version 7.4. And there has been cases of people crashing when exploring the game. Thankfully that has yet to happen to myself, but I haven't really done a great deal of content since the patch was released. Do we actually... Give me a moment. As a power tech, I'm just going to look at our abilities here. Yes. I thought power techs and mercenaries not only have heat as a unique resource, they have a unique, I almost want to call it stance or equipable cylinder. Depending on your skill tree, your ability tree, you may change the cylinder your weapons have equipped. The default cylinder is the combustible gas cylinder. All of our ranged attacks have a 25% chance to deal additional elemental damage over 6 seconds. We pretty much have a small chance to set our opponents on fire. Of course, in dealing with Farfra's gangsters, they're dying far too quick. But this is actually quite important for us to initiate our rail shot ability. And we'll probably see it more commonly when we encounter more powerful enemies. Is there anything else worth mentioning in our abilities here? Oh, as a cyborg, we have... Oh, each race has their own racial ability. Cyborgs have the ability to scan friendly targets with a cybernetic eye. It's all for flavor. Ah, yes. On each world you visit, you will also find, normally near the local spaceport, a heroic mission terminal like this one here. There are still some heroic mission NPCs, quest givers. Normally, nowadays, a vast majority of those NPCs have been removed, and therefore when you visit a world, it might be worth interacting with this terminal and picking up the heroic missions. Heroic missions are optional quests which, with increased difficulty, the opponents you find will be more dangerous, but the rewards are more significant. I'll take the man with the steel voice and factory recall. I believe the NPC for hostage situation is still around. With heroic missions, you also get a key or mission item known as a heroic transport. If we look at our map here, say we want to complete the man with the steel voice. If we made use of the heroic transport, it would teleport us to a safe area close to where the mission takes place. We'll look at doing those heroic missions later. Most heroic missions nowadays can be completed with your main character and a companion, but you can group up. There are a few area missions and heroic form missions still in existence, where it is highly recommended you do it with at least another player, and both of you having your companions out. But either way, let us continue to find this customs officer, this Meeks or Mex, who told Gianna about her husband and her son being spotted at the spaceport.
You're the one Gianna recruited to rescue her son. She said you were on your way. Look, I'll point out her husband, but that's it. He seems jumpy, and I'm not risking my neck.
Where's the man and the kid?
Hey, Kendrell, somebody wants to talk to you.
Do I know you? What do you want with me?
I'm here to take your son back, so your wife can send him to Korriban.
My wife is so determined for our son to become Sith that she hires a bully to threaten me. I was once an acolyte at the Academy on Korriban. There's no failure at the Sith Academy. Those who can't cut it die. I got wise and fled before they could kill me, and I'll die before I see my son eaten alive by those Sith dogs. Let me take my son and flee. Tell my wife that you persuaded me, and we took the shuttle to Korriban. She won't know any different.
Your son's going to Korriban, and there's nothing you can do to change that.
Ah! Damn it all.
Dad!
Get back to your mother. Forget what you saw here, okay?
I'll go home now.
That was... Never mind. Not my business.
Indeed, not your business at all.
I've covered my debt to Gianna. I don't want any other part of this.
That's very wise. Let's have a look at this quest for Vex. With Mako having cracked Vex's datapad, it shows that he is prepping a shuttle to leave the planet. Raiden is sure that if you can stop him, you can win Nemro's Great Hunt sponsorship. Unfortunately, he has more of his posse here between us and our target. Actually gained another blaster pistol. There is always a ready supply of henchmen and thugs for outlaws like Vex. Send a message to the underworld that signing on with scum like him is a death sentence as long as you are in town. Eliminate Vex's thugs and mercenaries in the spaceport hangar. Level 5. Until we reach level 15, I don't think it really matters what discipline you choose, as it's only when you hit level 15 do you start at the very bottom rung of your ability or your skill tree. I will probably look at all 3 disciplines. I do like the shield tech tree, I like the survivability it offers, but I would like to look at advanced prototype and pyrotech and see if I am used to the combat style. Oh, and Vex has hired a bodyguard. You'll notice a slight symbol next to his name, all around his icon here as well. These enemies that we've been encountering are standard or weak enemies, when they have no label next to them. But you will find strong enemies with this symbol next to them. There are also elite and champion enemies as well, kind of giving you an indication of the danger they represent.
What's this? A lawman of sorts? Never thought I'd see the day dashing Vex would get cornered by a brute enforcer.
I'm not sure dashing is the word you're looking for.
Ha! But I know something you don't. Vex is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill thug. Oh, no. Vex is the galaxy's greatest quick-draw artist. Vex can shoot your ears off so fast, you won't even hear yourself scream.
Show me.
Cheater!
Well, that was disappointing. I'll take your tags, thank you very much. You have defeated the outlaw Vex, and you have his ID tags to prove it. Brayden and Nemro are sure to be impressed, and you should be one step closer to your spot in the Great Hunt. Return to Brayden at his room at the Poison Pit Cantina. We have our first elite target here. Thankfully, they are friendly, so you have an idea of their level as well. Zentil is only level 3, but considered an elite enemy. Oh, an elite individual at least.
Thank you for returning my son to me. I don't know what became of my husband, and I don't much care. Soon Zayam will be on the shuttle to Korriban. You did what was needed.
You don't care that your husband's dead?
My husband was a coward. Here's your reward, as promised. Zayam may hate me for getting his father killed, but I hear hate and grief make for a fine Sith.
Well, we aren't force sensitive here, so I wouldn't know anything about that as a character.
Father's goons are out there putting holes in anything that moves. I'm not going anywhere.
It's your first turf war? You want to get paid or not?
No, I want to keep breathing more.
Breathing the air is as likely to kill you as Fathra's boys are. Buy a blaster. Learn the routes through town. Just don't let the boss hear you dodging work because of a few gangsters.
So we gain more experience. We actually gain some dark side points. And a pair of leggings. There is a light side, dark side alignment to this game. As a bounty hunter, I don't really care. We're going to be making choices that fall on both sides of the alignment. There is a noticeable effect on your character, known as dark side corruption. If you hit certain dark side thresholds, that effect, that change will become more and more apparent. But for this character, I don't know. We're probably going to be fairly neutral. We have a vendor here.
At your banky.
So repair our armor. Anything else worth keeping? We have some badges. It has no value but can be sold to a vendor. What I may want to try and do in this series is when I earn certain trophies from my enemies, I may try and keep a hold of those trophies as a memento for our victory.
Hey, old-timers, I'm... Jory. Brayden! What happened? Is the old man...
He looks pretty dead. Jory, too.
No. The old man's really dead. But he... Oh, damn it! Wait, you had something to do with this.
If I did, you'd be dead too.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. It's just... I've been with Brayden for years. I know you didn't have any reason to hurt him. And I just can't believe he's gone.
It's never easy seeing friends die, Mako.
I just never imagined. But I can handle this, I can. Jory and I set up surveillance gear all over this room. Whatever happened here should have been recorded. Fire up that monitor. Let's figure out who did this. Blasted. Someone's tampered with the recording. I can still get some of it, though. Here we go.
Move and you're dead. Now if you know what's good for you, you're gonna back out nice and slow.
Oh, I know precisely what's good for me. Winning the Great Hunt won't merely be good. It will be splendid. When I win, the entire galaxy will know the name Tarot Blood. And I'll charge extravagant fees for my services, won't I, Seddon?
The highest in the galaxy. Only the filthy rich will be able to afford you.
Tarot Blood. I've heard of you. Nearly got crippled by the other Mandalorians at the Great Hunt 10 years back.
Ah, yes, that. An unfortunate bit of history. This time, I plan to win. Of course, that will be simpler if my competition doesn't include rivals beyond my fellow Mandalorians. The Twi'lek Vibroblade Master from Ord Mantell? Gone. The Chiss droid builder fond of explosives? Gone. That just leaves your protege to remove.
Hutta chuta. Kasuya likulira. Kanki kum.
You misunderstand. The rules forbid killing competitors before the allotted hour. Thus, the promising up-and-comers I mentioned are very much alive. I simply eliminated them as threats. And how does one slow a charging Gundark, Seddon?
Blast his legs out from under him.
Destroy the upstart's so-called crew. I'll be outside, innocently unaware.
Jory, shoot to kill! Too late, old man.
That scum. He didn't even have the guts to kill them himself. He had his lackeys do it. Coward. The big mouth running the show claimed he was Tarot Blood. He's a big shot even for a Mandalorian. When he started out, Tarot Blood was major news. Rumor says everyone united against him when he tried the Great Hunt.
This time he's stacking the deck in his favor.
If what he said was true, he's already nicked some other competitors. Tarot Blood barely survived elimination from the Great Hunt last time. He was out on his back for years. Major squash, you know? If Blood's determined to win the Great Hunt, our best bet of catching up to him is getting you in that competition.
I'm here to win the Great Hunt. That hasn't changed.
The thing is, Brayden spent all our credits getting us here. We're stuck on this stupid planet. Nemro the Hutt is the only boss with enough clout to sponsor you for the Great Hunt. We need him more than ever. If nobody knows Brayden is dead, I should be able to get you a meeting with Nemro. This'll take every favor I can call in, and I'll need the tags from your bounty. Should be enough for 2 burials.
That should cover it.
I'll do something nice for them. At least as nice as I can manage on this cesspool of a planet. I did everything I could to build your reputation, but now, you'll have to make an even bigger impression. Nemro's enemies are all over town. Take out some leaders before you visit the palace, and you'll score points with the Hutt.
Okay. Oh, that's very, very unfortunate. The only reason we were originally getting to see Nemro is because of Brayden's reputation.
You've got to get to Nemro before he realizes you don't have a crew anymore.
Yeah, that'll be a problem. And we do gain this Battler's Jacket as a reward for our quest completion. And we also gain level 6. We shall take a break here. When we come back, we will further try to enhance our reputation and ingratiate ourselves with Nemro the Hutt by dealing with some of Fafra's street captains on our way over to Nemro's palace. And hopefully our meeting with him in regards to the Great Hunt sponsorship goes well. Thank you all for joining me with even more Star Wars The Old Republic. Feel free to leave a comment if you so wish, and hopefully I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, no, take care. Bye bye now.